I think one more thing I forgot to add is when you analyze the statements, the order in which you should start. So you should be looking at the balance sheet first, or the statement of financial position, and then the profit and loss, or the P&L and statement of comprehensive income. The comprehensive income bit is the one that comes after the P&L, so right under the loss at the bottom of the statement. That's where the phrasing top line and bottom line comes from. And then you can move on to the statement of changes in equity, which has things like dividends and shows the shareholder movements at the end of the day. And then you can go into like the notes and other things that really help you fully understand the entity. Hello, folks. So today we'll be looking at the Microsoft financials. And if you could pull them up so we can both all go through them. I will not be sharing my screen, but they can be found on the company website under annual reports. I think we can take a look at 2022. I know 2023 is out. Honestly, you can look at either one. It doesn't really make a big difference. It's the principles that matter. So, all right, let's get going here. We'll be taking notes, physical notes on the side, and notes on my computer as well. Okay, so the first thing is we want to do is pull up the annual report. You want to look out for any significant changes from the previous year. You want to see if there's any letters from the authorities, such as the tax authorities. These provide additional context that you sometimes don't find in other pieces of the financials. Call it non-financial information. Helps to see the number of employees so you can understand where the company is and how they're trending. Another helpful report to look at is the auditor's opinion. And what this provides is like the scope of what the auditors did, and if there's any things that are like worth noting. Okay, so the next thing we want to understand is who the key stakeholders are. And again, if you pulled up the annual report, you would be able to very quickly tell by looking through, which is what I'm doing now. And don't forget, always take notes. Okay, so that's the review of the different aspects of the shareholders. And it shows you who's interested in the company, essentially. You see if they have investments in other parts of the world. And sometimes the perception of the people that they are they're around, or how the world perceives them, essentially. And then you want to look at some of their policies. And our topical one is right now is AI. Another topical one is things to do with cyber and the like. This is obviously a leading company in the space. You also want to see who their vendors are. Sorry, their service providers. I guess those are vendors, actually. And the reason that's helpful, again, you can learn so much by, finding out who a company um, gets services from. Okay, we're just about done. And then as part of reviewing the annual report, you might want to look at the notes. And the reason this is important is because oftentimes you find in the notes information that you don't always find in the rest of the financial statements. I call it qualitative information. I mean, there is qualitative information in the financials, but the notes really go a step further. in kind of explaining a lot of the stuff. Okay, the notes look interesting. There's obviously a lot happening with this company. Um, a lot of interesting things. Which overall is pretty exciting. I think it's a lot in terms of review because you have more work to do, but it's really exciting. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is check whether there was any correspondence from different stakeholders, investors, the tax authorities, and any other type of authorities, really. What that does is it kind of gives you a 360 view of, what the company's been up to, what folks think about the company. And so we'll pull those up and take a look. Some of it is not mandatory, right? Like companies are not mandated to, disclose certain things. But there are some that they do have to mention. And so we'll look at just what's publicly available. Just to wrap up. So I don't see anything that jumps out at me. Okay, so that note is taken. And then I guess the last thing here is just to see what the company has been up to, who's involved. And you'll notice I'm taking rigorous notes as we go. Okay, I think that's just about it. Done with this one. Check it off the checklist, and I will see y'all on the next one. Good job, folks.